everybody, my name's Helen, and today I have a book haul for you. This is my December and Christmas book haul, and as you notice, I am back in my dorm, so I do not have all of the books that I got with me because I got a grand total of 44 books for Christmas. My aunt discovered Book Outlet, and she kept sending me links to books and being like, oh hey, does this sound like something you'd be interested in? And she just sent me like the synopsis, and I never really thought anything of it, and then for Christmas I got this huge box and it was filled with 22 books. And then I had some books that I bought myself, and some other random books from friends, but yeah, my aunt sent me 22 books. So I'm gonna start by listing off the books that I got for Christmas that I don't have here, and I just have them written on this little thing here. So the books that I got that are not here is Nobody's Princess. I believe it's Esther Friesner, which is the first book of her Mythical Princesses series. The second book that I got is Cruel by Jennifer Albin, and I'm not going to go into much detail on most of these books because there are so many. I will probably go into detail on the ones that I actually have here, but not the ones that I just kind of got. Carrier of the Mark, The Death Cure by James Dashner. This is the third book in the Maze Runner trilogy. I own the first book, I own the last book, I just need to get the Scorch Trials. And then I got Unearthly, Jekyll Loves Hyde by, I'll say Beth Fitzpatrick, but I know that's going to be wrong. It's by the same person who wrote Jessica's Guide to Dating the Dark Side. I read Jessica's Guide to Dating the Dark Side kind of ironically a little earlier this year because I got it for really cheap at my local bookstore, and I ended up actually really liking it, which I was kind of surprised about because after Twilight I just stopped liking the vampire genre. I got Outpost and Enclave by Anna Guire. These are the first two books in the Outpost trilogy. I have heard amazing things about the first book and kind of so-so things about the second book, so I'm actually really excited to dive into this trilogy. The Dead Girls Detective Agency. I got Once Dead, Twice Shy, and Early to Death, Early to Rise by Kim Harrison, which are somehow related to this book that I have here, Something Deadly This Way Comes. Then I got Hereafter. I'm just going to apologize now to every author for the rest of this video who I don't know your names. I should have written them down when I was writing down the names of your beautiful books, but I forgot to write down your names, and I'm sorry. And then I got Eyes Like Stars and Perchance to Dream, Poisoned Honey, Possess, and Illuminate, and Bloodthirsty. These are all books I don't know the authors' names of. Envy, which I don't know, and I'm sorry because you autographed my book, and it's the only autographed book I own, so you would think I would know your name, but I don't. Archon, Madman of Venice, Very Le Freak by Rachel Cohn, Dark Eden, Even Adam. So those are all the books that I got that I don't have here with me. And now I can move on to the books that I do have here. And these are exciting. Oh my goodness. The box set of the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series. And I have not read these. I actually didn't hear about them at all until the movie came out. I don't know why. I used to live in a super small town, and we just never really heard about books at all, and I don't think anybody in my town actually read these. But once I found out what they were about, I knew I had to get them, but I didn't want to pay $11 per book because I'm cheap and I'm a university student, so I'm poor. So I found these in Walmart for 40% off, so the whole box set cost me $21, which was 5 books. So I paid like $2.25 a book. Stargirl by Jerry Spinelli. My friend and roommate bought this for me for Christmas, and I don't know much about it. I heard a lot about it when I was younger, and I love Jerry Spinelli. I read Ringer by him when I was in grade 5. It's about a girl named Stargirl who is kind of strange, and she's been homeschooled for her entire life, but she ends up going to high school for the first time, and it's like her dealing with high school. The next book that I got is Evernight by Claudia Gray. I own another book by her that you may remember from another haul. It's called Fateful. This is her kind of more well-known book, and it's the first book in a series, and I actually don't know what it's about at all. It's one of the books that my aunt sent me, and she just kind of sent me the synopsis from a book outlet, and it sounded really cool, and I had heard about it, so I knew that I really wanted to read it, but I have no idea what it's about. But I would like to take a moment to appreciate this cover, because while this part of it is kind of meh, the writing is beautiful, and there's actually like a graveyard in like the loop under here. The next book that I got is Soul Thief by Jenna Oliver. This is the second book in the Demon Trapper's Daughter series, which I have the first one here, and I got this one for super cheap at my local bookstore. I haven't read it yet, but I've heard some really good things about it. So when my aunt asked me if this was a book that I'd be interested in, I said yes right away. And these next two books are kind of a funny story, or at least the girl who gave them to me is kind of a funny story. There is another booktuber on here somewhere, and she's a beginner like me, and her name is Alyssa. And we met through my mother because her boyfriend was a friend of my mother's, but she and I both love books, and she had books for sale, and I was asking her about these books that she had for sale. And it turns out that we are only a couple years apart in age, and we have like almost identical interest in books. So we became actually really good friends because of books. We finally got to like legitimately meet over my winter break, which was great, and I love her so much. And she surprised me with a Christmas gift, which was fair because I kind of surprised her with a Christmas gift. But the two books that she got me are The Secret History of Elizabeth Tudor, Vampire Slayer by Lucy Weston, and Waterfall by Emily Howard, which is book one in the Aquarathi series. I know this book is about mermaids, and I know that this book is about Elizabeth Tudor being a vampire slayer, but I don't know much more about either of them. So thank you so much, Alyssa, if you're watching. I love you. The next book that I got is The Madman's Daughter by Megan Shepherd. This is about a girl named Juliet who has to kind of deal with the fact that her dad is known as Madman. I don't know much about it other than that. A lot of people have been hauling this book lately on BookTube, and it sounded really interesting to me, so I knew that I wanted to get it. So next is one of the books I bought for myself when I was on a trip with a friend, and it is Across the Universe by Beth Revis, and I've heard nothing but amazing things about this trilogy. But as you can see, I got the crappy cover change version because stores near my hometown do not sell the beautiful starry galaxy covers, and it broke my heart a little bit, and I debated waiting and seeing if I could find them at a secondhand store. But this was on sale, and I just really wanted to be able to start it. The next book is one of the ones that my aunt sent me, and I am so excited about it. I'm reading one of her other books right now, and it's pretty darn good. But when my aunt sent this to me, I was worried about it being super expensive, and you'll understand why when you see which book it is. Because in my local bookstore, it sells for like $26 to $28, depending on which one you go to, because there are two that are kind of nearby. And I thought that maybe she had paid the full price for it somehow, but she got it in the scratch and dent pile from Book Outlet, and she got it for $5. And that book is The Diviners by Libba Bray. And I have wanted to read this book for so long. And you'll notice it looks like it's in pretty damn good condition. The thing that makes it scratch and dent is this little section of the spine down at the bottom of the dust cover that's missing. And other than that, it's in perfect shape, and the thing is like a perfect line, so it kind of looks like it's supposed to be there. It doesn't bother me at all. Okay. The next book that I have is Tilt by Ellen Hopkins, and this is another book from my friend and roommate that she gave me for Christmas. I have never read an Ellen Hopkins book, and she was outraged when I told her that. So she bought me Tilt, which she said is her favorite of all of the Ellen Hopkins novels that she's read. And as you can see, it's beautiful. I love this cover. And it follows 3 different girls, Michaela, Shane, and Harley, who are each dealing with different things in their lives. And my final Christmas book from this year, The Coldest Girl in Cold Town by Holly Black. And this is actually from my best friend back home. His name is Colton, and he's a nerd, and he's beautiful. And we decided to take a trip to the nearest city to our hometown when we were both down for winter break. And I picked up this book, and I was looking at it, and I was like, oh, why must you be full price? Because I hate paying full price because I really like buying bargain books. It's just so much nicer on my wallet. And I was like, why must you still be in hardcover and full price? Why can't you be for sale? And I went to put it back, and he grabbed it from my hand and walked to the cash register. And when I asked him what he was doing, he said he was buying it for me for Christmas. He's a sweetheart. Thank you so much, Colton. I'm so excited to read this. And now these last 5 books are books that I bought for myself from my local bookstore when they were having a buy 3, get the 4th one free. So that's what happened with 4 of these, and then the other one was just a bargain book. So I'll show that one first. The bargain book that I got is Juliet Immortal by Stacey J. And I heard Ariel from Ariel Bissett talk about this a little while ago, and she liked it. And it's about, it's like a retelling of Romeo and Juliet, but in modern day. And Juliet, like, tries to protect, she's a soul, and she tries to protect girls from ending up in like the same situation that she did by protecting them from horrible boys. And Romeo is like a servant of the devil, drives boys to do these horrible things to women. And they're still kind of in love with each other, but they also hate each other, and they're trying to do everything to avoid that pull that exists between them. So now for the 4 books that I got for super cheap because of the buy 3, get the 4th one free. Now the first one is kind of embarrassing, but whatevs. It's Elixir by Hilary Duff, and I heard Ariel from Ariel Bissett talk about this a little while ago, and she really likes it, and I've wanted to read it for a really long time. So hearing that she liked it was just kind of the motivation that I needed. A lot of the books that I have here, actually every book that I got from there, was a first book in a series that I've heard really good things about, and I've been really excited to read. So the next book is The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer, and I've heard so many things about this book. I've heard that it's kind of creepy, and it's like a kind of a thriller, but it's really confusing because she has like these hallucinations. I don't even know, but I'm so excited to read this. The next book that I got is The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater, and this is the first book in the Raven Cycle Quartet, and I know basically nothing about this. I know it's kind of a paranormal romance about a girl named Blue, and I know there's someone named like Gansey. Finally, the last book that I got last year, in December, is Shatter Me by Tahara Mafi, and I'm so happy I waited until now to buy it because it's in such a pretty cover. I've heard so many good things about this, especially from Shannon from over at Cozy Tea Reads. That is it. That is my ridiculously huge December book haul. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you soon. Bye!